Hey everybody, Reverend Carl here. Just want to thank you again for tuning into my Holistic Intercessor channel here on YouTube. I sure appreciate it. I wanted to talk to you today a little bit about the practice really of forgiveness and how healing this really can be. It can be really quite profound. Now a lot of us will say or think to ourselves that we've forgiven someone, or that they've done something wrong to us and we forgave them, and perhaps that may be true and that's enough. But I have found that in my work with people for healing with the holistic intercessor work, that when I go into Trinity and things are revealed to me about what is the root cause of a pain or an issue that they have, or a lack of happiness, it comes down to the very beginning. The very seed of that is actually a lack of forgiveness. It's been something that the person has had a really hard time letting go of deep inside. And so what I do is I will often walk people through the practice. This is very important, the practice of forgiveness. And I encourage you to try this yourself. And I know it's going to seem really hard and maybe even far out at first, but this is effective. What you do is that you think back to that memory that you have of something terrible that happened to you, or a wrong that somebody did to you, that betrayed you or some such, and it can be traumatic, and I understand that. I'm with you there. But in a very private situation where you're totally by yourself, whether you're driving in your car or home alone, whatever, say what happened. Tell the story of what happened, and you have to hear yourself telling the story. And of course, you will feel that emotional charge. You'll relive the hurt, perhaps even to some extent or a great extent. But stay with it. Tell the story again, and again, and again, and again, until that story no longer has that hold on you. Until that story no longer has control over you, no longer has the power over you that keeps you from happiness. And it also keeps your body from perfect health in a lot of cases too. Things often manifest in our body from what's deep inside, locked in up here or in the heart, right? This is the release of that. This is the true practice of forgiveness, is to be able to tell the story of what happened to you, to yourself. You don't have to tell anybody else, but to yourself, to the extent where you're really just a journalist. You're just a news reporter reporting the scene of a crime, basically. And you're impartial. There's no emotional attachment to it. You're just the facts, ma'am. You're just telling the facts. You're just telling the story. You get to that point, and then you can truly say, oh, I forgive that person. I forgive that situation. I do. And poof, clean. You've got some power back to you. So like I said, you can always contact me, and I'll be glad to help you through this situation if that is the case for you, and we'll have a phone conversation and we can talk about this. But if that's the case for you, I'll walk you through how to do this, and it's really quite effective. You'll understand the liberation that you feel, and this also will liberate the other person too, whether they're living or not. On some level, this has a liberating effect on that person. They no longer have a hold on you, and you are no longer insisting, in a way, that they hold on you as well. You've got some power back, and that person's been released. It's really quite remarkable. Now, if you Google, if you go to Google and you search Bible verses that have to do with forgiveness, or something to that effect, you'll find there's Bible verses all over the Bible, Old Testament and New Testament, that have to do with forgiveness. I would like to leave you with something that Jesus actually said, his own words. This is in the book of Luke, and he's talking about forgiveness here. It happens to be Luke chapter 17, verses 3 and 4. Kind of take this to heart. It's really quite interesting the way he says this, but he just says to his disciples, they asked about this, and he answers them. He says, so watch yourselves. This is Jesus talking. Watch yourselves. If your brother or your sister sins against you, rebuke them. That is, call them out on it. And if they repent, that is, admit to it, if they repent, forgive them, right there on the spot. Even if they do this to you 7 times a day, every day, and they come back to you 7 times a day and repent or admit to it, forgive them. Every single time, right there on the spot. You must forgive them. And so, modern language a bit, of course, but that's what Jesus is putting across there when it comes to forgiveness, is that right there on the spot, the best thing is to do is to call somebody out on it, decently, of course. Don't get into a fight. He's against that too, but call them out on it and let them say, oh man, I'm sorry. That was wrong. Can you forgive me? Yes, I forgive you. that situation's gone. Okay? That's it for today. I sure appreciate you tuning in, and God bless you, and thanks again. We'll talk later. Bye-bye.